There's always that stereotype that racing drivers never admit responsibility and always either blame another competitor, their car or their team for their misfortunes. But when you're a team owner, that does put you in a bit of a precarious position, but of course you can always blame the opposition. However, Denny Hamlin, the co-owner of 23XI Racing, pretty much admitted blame for the incident that happened at Atlanta that caught up a bunch of cars, 23 to be exact, over half of the field. It was a massive wreck. I mean, we had a big one before that in stage 1, but the one in stage 2 was absolutely massive. Hamlin was blamed widely for the incident, and he has basically admitted responsibility now, saying, quote, "Maybe it's on me," end quote. It absolutely was Hamlin, but let me just go into some of the details about this, guys. Atlanta at the Quaker State 400 absolutely produced a massive pile-up, and it was started by Denny Hamlin. So Hamlin made these remarks on the Actions Detrimental podcast, saying, and I quote, "Listen, I watched the replay a few times. Maybe it was my fault. Because I want to be fair and honest on this podcast, and I'm looking at it, and I thought at the very beginning, I was like, what the hell, somebody in front of me zigged and zagged, and I said this on my interview. These guys were tail wagging, and I was just pushing as I normally do," end quote. Now, drafting in NASCAR is crucial, especially around the super speedways. You want to be as close to the front as possible, not at the actual front. You want to be able to save as much fuel by drafting as much as you can, but also still being competitive, and importantly, crucially, not being cut off from that leading group. And that's what Hamlin was trying to do, but obviously it didn't quite work out. A little misalignment here, a little misjudgment there, it can be disastrous, and that very much was the case for Atlanta at the weekend. And he explained all the thinking and the lead up to this incident on the podcast as well. He went on to say, "Spotter tells me they're locked on the front row. That means I'm able to continue to push. Everything is kind of good to go. And yeah, I was the end of the snake tail that lost control, but it looked like I knocked the 42 kind of out of control. Maybe it's on me." But the consequences for Hamlin were pretty big. He's lost out on $1 million, arguably because of it. He went into the in-season challenge as the top seed, but unfortunately, because he retired from the race and his opponent for the night, Ty Dillon, managed to finish up in P8, he, of course, advances to the next round, and Hamlin does not. So, unfortunately for him, he lost out big time, and a lot of people lost out big time as well. A very dramatic race at Atlanta, but also when we had a very much a reduced field at the end of the race. But yeah, guys, there you go. Hamlin's fault? It looked like it to me, to be honest with you, on the replays. I must admit, he was the guy who definitely was the first one to instigate all that. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always if you want to see more like this, guys, and have a fantastic day wherever in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.